Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. Today we are back in Microsoft Flight Simulator and we are going to be taking a flight in the Wire A380. This is pretty exciting news for the flight sim community. We've been waiting for the A380 for about 4 years now and it's finally here. So today we're going to be taking a flight from Aktion, Preveza, Greece to Brussels International Airport. Got a nice long flight ahead of us. So let's jump in our aircraft and get things configured for our flight. All right, we are in the flight deck of the Wire A380. I'll get my checklist pulled up here. All right. First thing we need to run through are cockpit preparations. So we want to make sure that our throttle is at idle. Our parking brake is set. Our flaps are retracted. Our spoilers are retracted. Engine master switches are in the off position. Landing gear lever is down. We'll go upstairs. We want to make sure that our left and right wipers are off. We can turn our battery 1 on, ESS battery, battery 2, and APU battery. We have external power available, so we'll turn on external 2, external 3, external 1, and external 4. Our nav lights can come on. Turn that on, and we'll turn the wing lights on. We'll test our engine fire. We'll get the audible tone. ADIRs can go to nav. We'll do 1, 2, and 3. We'll get our seatbelt signs on. No smoking signs. And we'll arm the emergency exit lights. Crew oxygen supply can turn on. All right, we'll go down to our EFB here. Fuel. All right, so today's flight is calling for 91,712 pounds of fuel. Refuel time instant. We'll go ahead and fuel the aircraft. And we have 328 passengers on board, cargo 14,169 pounds, zero fuel weight 736,311 pounds. All right, boarding time instant. We'll go ahead and load the aircraft. We'll go upstairs. We can go ahead and turn our fuel pumps on. I'll leave the trim tank fuel pumps turned off because we don't have any fuel in that tank. All right, our generator switches should show fault because the engines aren't running. Our cockpit heat will turn up. Packs should be showing fault right now. Emergency exit lights are already armed. Ice indicator, standby compass. Go ahead and turn that on to ice indicator. Altimeter, let's see here. Go ahead and turn up our brightness here. All right, We got our brightness turned up. Everything's looking pretty good there. All right, let's see what our altimeter is today. Altimeter is 30.12. Okay, so we got the captain and the first officer set. Let's set our standby. 3012. Transponder. So we're going to go click on the drop down here, serve. So our transponder is set to auto. Squawk code 2000. I'm not actually going to use ATC today, so I'm not going to plug in a squawk code. Fueling, loading, boarding is complete. All right, let's go down to our FMS here. All right, so we have the A380-800, engine Trent 972. Our nav database is valid from October 31st to November 28th, so that's good. We'll go to initialization. All right, so our flight number is fly-by-wire 4353. And we're going from LGPZ to Brussels, EBBR. Alternate airport is EBLG. Cruise flight level today is flight level 400. Cost index is 40. Trip wind, let's see, average winds 006. All right, now we can go to flight plan. Let's see. So we're going to depart runway 06. Our standard instrument departure is the Mali 1C. Departure runway 06. That's interesting. We don't have a runway 06. We'll just pick 07 left. All right, not sure why runway 06 is not in there, and there's no standard instrument departure. All right, so we're going to insert next waypoint. We'll go to Maled. Okay. And then from MOLED, we'll jump on the UA14. The UA14 to KRK. Okay, and then we're going to jump on the UL53. And take that to OLGAT. We'll insert that. All right, from OLGAT, we're going to go direct to IOSA. Insert next waypoint. Being a little clunky right now. OGAT, direct to IOSA, direct to pool. I want to pick the top one. All right, then direct to VRS. All right, VRS, direct to PVOL. Okay. Direct to VESOL. Direct to UNIMI. UNIMI, and then we're going to jump on the L12. L12 to MACD. Okay. MACD, then we're going to jump on the P66. And we're going to take that to KPT. And then jump on the L608. Take that to QNOD. Insert that. Okay, from QNOD, we're going to go direct to ADISA. Direct to LIMGO. Then we're going to jump on the N852. N852 to LNO. If it gives me a second here to click on it. It's a little buggy. They gotta fix this. Clicking, clicking, clicking. Come on. There we go. N852 to LNO. Alright. Insert. Alright, now we're going to go to Brussels. Let's see here. So we're expecting runway 01. Standard terminal arrival route is the LNO 5A. Runway 01. ILS 01. LNO 5A. And our VIA, the flow 1E. All right, so now we can confirm our flight plan. We'll go to plan. 20 nautical miles is fine. So runway 07 left. We want to go ahead and clear this discontinuity. Okay, we're going to go to MOLED. OLGAT, there's a discontinuity. We'll go ahead and clear that one. So we're just looking for breaks in the flight plan or waypoints that don't make any sense. That looks good. We'll go ahead and insert that. All right, so we got our flight plan entered. We don't need a secondary flight plan. We don't need radio nav aids. All right, now let's go to our fuel and load. Swing over to our EFB. Go to settings here. Convert to kilograms. All right, so our zero fuel weight is going to be 333.9. Okay. And let's just confirm our block fuel here. All right, so our block fuel, 41.6. All right. So our taxi fuel today is our taxi fuel today is 2,200 pounds. So 2,200 pounds is 1.1 tons. 1.1. All right. And then our alternate fuel, 11,299 pounds. 11,299. We're looking at 5.6 tons. And our final reserve is 15,267 pounds. 15,267, which is 7.6. Minimum fuel at destination is 13.2. All right, let's see here. How many passengers do we have? 328. And our CG is 35.4. All right, so we got our fuel and load here. Now we need to do our performance. So SimBrief has a calculator for calculating the takeoff performance. Takeoff performance. All right, so we're going to use flaps 2 for takeoff today. Flex, lead setting, auto, anti-ice, auto. Winds are in there, temperature. Okay. Calculate. All right, so let's go down to performance. We're going to use flex. Our flex to temp is 66. V1 is 130 knots. Rotate is 136 knots. And V2 is 144 knots. We're going to use flaps 2. And our trim, say 36%. Not sure if that's the correct way to do it, but that's what we're going to plug in. See what our transition altitude is. It says transition level by ATC. All right, we'll just say 8,000 feet. All right, I think our FMS is done. So we've confirmed data. We did our initialization. We did our flight plan. We don't have a secondary flight plan. We don't need to worry about rad nav aids. We did our fuel and load and our performance. So that should be everything for the FMS. All right, so we got our takeoff data in there. The flight control unit is set. So we'll go ahead and plug in 8,000 feet is our climb altitude. We want to get these constraints on airports. All right, now we can go upstairs. Let's first confirm our fuel here. Make sure everything is correct. Let's go here, aircraft options, switch this back to pounds. All right, so we have 91,712 pounds of fuel. Fuel on board 91.6, pretty close. Our block fuel in the flight plan is 91,583, so we're pretty darn close. All right, let's go upstairs. We'll turn on our APU. So you want to turn on the APU master switch, wait about 3 seconds, then hit start. We can monitor our APU. When it's online, we can turn on our bleed air. All right, APU is available. Go upstairs, we'll turn on our bleed air. External power. Let's go ahead and shut that off. Go to our EFB. Services, disconnect the ground power unit. All right, our flight director is on. We're not going to use radios, but if we needed to, we would set our radio frequency. Check our doors page. All the doors are closed. Make sure that our equipment is clear. All right, we're about ready for pushback, so we need to go upstairs and turn on the beacon light. Let the ground crew know that we're gonna move here. Fuel pumps are on. All right, let's get our pushback. We're gonna call pushback helper. We're gonna have an invisible tug today. That's okay. Such a massive aircraft. All right, we can stop right about there. Set the parking brake and release the tug. All right, let's go upstairs. Our engine start switch should go to ignition start. And we're gonna start engines 1 and 4 first. So I'll go down to the master switch, 1 and 4 on. Pull up our engine page. We can monitor our engines. All right, engines 1 and 4 are available. Now we can repeat the process for engines 2 and 3. Engine sounded fantastic. All right. Engines 2 and 3 are available. Go upstairs. So our engine gens, the fault light should be extinguished. Ignition mode selector should go back to normal. Wing engine antis as required. Pack should be on. Slats flaps as required. So we want to take off flaps 2. Beautiful. All right, slats, flaps set. Our takeoff trim is going to be 36%. I need to confirm this, but that's the way I've been doing it. Just match what's displayed here. All right, let's check our flight controls. So we'll go to our flight controls page. All right, full left, full right, neutral, nose down, nose up, neutral, full left rudder, full right rudder, and neutral. So our flight controls are full and free. We'll go upstairs. We can turn off our APU bleed and turn off the APU. Auto brake should be set to rejected takeoff. Rudder trim should be at 0. Arm the ground spoilers. Okay. We can go upstairs, turn our taxi light on. We already have our beacon lights on. We are ready for taxi. Takeoff config is normal. That's good. Lighting looks good. We have enough fuel. All right, let's get out of here. So we are supposed to depart runway 06, but for some reason that's not in the database, so we're gonna take off 07 left. So we're going to taxi across, taxi down Sam, and then we'll get on 07. All right, release the parking brake, give it a little thrust. use all of the runway. All right, we're gonna hold short right here. All right, so we need to go upstairs and turn our strobe lights on, our runway turnoff lights, landing lights, nose light to take off, wing lights are on. Our V speeds are checked and set. FCU and nav data is set. Transponder, just go here to serve, so we're auto, TARA, leave it normal, weather radar is off. All right, we are ready. We got runway 07 left. Get centered up on our runway here. All right. Go ahead and sync our runway heading. Zero 062. All right, so now we're going to advance the throttle to flex. And we'll have slight nose down pressure until we reach 80 knots. Okay, advancing the throttle to flex. There's 80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate of climb, gear coming up. Autopilot's engaged. All right, we're going to reduce the throttle to climb. Press climb. Go back to nav. Speed we'll keep at about 190 knots. Go ahead and disarm our ground spoilers. Flaps 1. And retract our flaps. Accelerate to 220 knots. All right, we reached 8,000 feet. At this point, we need a transition. Standard, standard, and we'll climb up to flight level 200, managed. Accelerate to 250. Adjust our range to 80 nautical miles. Sure, auto brakes off, and it is. Flaps are retracted, ground spoilers are disarmed, altimeter is standard. When we cross 10,000 feet, we can turn our landing lights off. Okay, accelerate to 320 knots. All right, we are flying direct to Malid. We are 16.8 nautical miles away. Beautiful departure. All right, so we've approached 20,000 feet. Let's go ahead and climb up to our cruise altitude, flight level 400. Manage. We'll maintain 320 knots during the climb. We can go ahead and turn off our seatbelt signs. Keep our no smoking signs on. Looks like our top of descent is just before go pass. Just crossing flight level 300. Very, very smooth. I'm going to reduce the speed a little bit so we can get a better climb rate. Just crossing flight level 350. We are 44 nautical miles from Olgat. So when we crossed Olgat, we should have at least 73,100 pounds of fuel. We're currently at 78,900. Got a nice vertical climb here, 1,600 feet per minute. We're almost to flight level 400. We can go ahead and turn on the probe and window heat. And we might as well turn the anti-ice on. All right, we've approached flight level 400. We are going to cruise at Mach 0.84 today. So it's looking like our top of descent is just before go pass. So I'm going to go into external view and do a nice time lapse here, and I will come back just before our top of descent and we'll get things ready. So until then, enjoy this time lapse, and I will see you guys in a few minutes.
Twice.
Alright, welcome back. We are less than 10 nautical miles away from our top of descent, so what I need to do is set the lowest altitude in our arrival here. So I'm going to set flight level 070 at Flora, because we got to be above flight level 070. So we'll go over here, we'll set flight level 070. Okay. And then in a few moments here, we will begin our descent. We'll maintain Mach 0.84 during the initial descent. All right, let's go ahead and start descending. Mach 0.84. Our thrust is reducing. All right, we just crossed Go Pass, so we should have at least 35,900 pounds of fuel on board, and we're at 40,800 pounds, so we are plenty good on fuel. You can see our 7,000 foot restriction at flow. Thrust idle. We'll maintain Mach 0.84, and then we'll transition to 320 knots once we get down to about 25,000 feet. See, our vertical speed is 4,000 feet per minute. Go ahead and enter our destination weather. So our altimeter is 3030 inches. Temperature is 9 degrees Celsius. Winds 060 at 11 knots. All right. Let's go ahead and set 320 knots. Still descending. Alright, so we got our winds, our outside air temperature, QNH, check our minimums. Alright, so minimums, we'll say 375 feet. Transition altitude, $4,500 feet. All right. We'll be in a flaps full config. Our approach speed 137 knots. All right, we're looking good on our descent. So we're going to cross Flora above flight level 070. And when we get to Burroos, we want to be at 2,000 feet. So we'll go ahead and set 2,000. Check our flight plan here. So Burroos is estimating 2108, so it'll be pretty darn close. We'll maintain 320 knots until we get closer to 10,000 feet, and then we need to reduce our speed at 250. We don't want to bust that speed constraint at 10,000 feet. All right, just crossing flight level 210. Alright, we go ahead and set our auto brake to we'll do auto brakes 2. And get that seatbelt sign on. Man, look at this. Beautiful. Alright, I'm going to start rolling my speed back. We'll go 270 knots. Throw a little speed brake out. Our winds are actually 330 at 2 knots. And our temperature is 9 degrees Celsius. QNH 3030. Let's see here. 3030. Barrel 375. Full config. Alright, that looks good. Alright, we're going to reduce our speed to 250 knots now. Speed brake. Alright, let's go upstairs and turn our landing lights on. Runway turn off lights. Anti-ice is on. Seatbelt signs are on. I'm going to reduce speed to 230 knots. More speed brake. thrust idle. Man, look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, I'm going to start reducing my speed to 220 knots. And we'll go flaps 1. Go ahead and turn the landing system on. Go ahead and go flaps 2. Reduce our speed to go to 215. Alright, altimeter is 3030. .3030. We're at 220 knots.
$2,500.
All right, we'll go ahead and drop the landing gear. let's go ahead and reduce our speed to 200 knots. We're 200 knots, 2,000 feet. When we make our left turn here, we can activate approach. We're looking for 134 knots. All right, I'm sorry, reducing 180 knots. All right, let's go flaps 3. All right, we'll activate approach. Set our speed at 134. All right, approach. All right, we've acquired the localizer and the glide slope. Flaps full. All right, we are descending.
One thousand. Four hundred. 100 above. Minimum. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Pretty smooth landing there. I could barely see the runway at minimums. All right, we'll turn the auto brake off. Go ahead and disable the ground spoilers. We're going to exit left up here. All right, we'll get completely clear of the active runway. All right, we'll stop right here. All right, we need to go upstairs, turn our landing lights off, our nose light can go to taxi, runway turn-off lights off, and our strobe light to auto. Anti-ice can come off. All right, we'll go ahead and turn off the landing system. All right, let's get our clearance here. Request taxi to parking. All right, let's see where we're at. All right, we'll just make a left turn here. Kind of creepy out there. All right, we'll turn left. right. Man, you can't see a thing out here. It's crazy. Oh, we need to retract our flaps. Alright, right there is good. Okay, let's go upstairs. Want that APU going. Go ahead and set that parking brake. Parking brake set, flaps are retracted, ground spoilers are retracted. We'll go ahead and turn the engines off. Go upstairs. Turn our APU bleed on. External power is available. All right, we are in a turnaround state here. Let's get that taxi light off. Everything's looking pretty good. Beacon light can come off. All right, we are in a turnaround state here in Brussels. Pretty good flight overall. This is my first recorded flight with the Wire A380, and really enjoy this aircraft. I'm so glad it's finally here. We've been waiting for about 4 years to get this aircraft, and Fly-by-Wire team has done a fantastic job with it, and it's just going to keep getting better with each update. So I look forward to making more flight videos with this aircraft. If you guys have any suggestions for future flights, please leave a comment. Until the next one, we'll catch you later.